Dad, why are you yelling at me?
Grab the Odyssey app from your app store and stream KDAWN anytime, anywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Woohoo! Oh, everybody getting crazy driving silly little cars down the strip last night. A couple guys getting DQ'd before the race, too, including the betting favorite. Sorry, guys. Whoops. But hey, we are very excited. We got the best in pro wrestling news, entertainment, a couple of crazy goofballs, and we have a special guest that's going to be we met with earlier this week. We'll talk about her in a little bit. But first, let's bring in the boys to talk some wrestling with you today. First off, from the Wrestling Revolver. And I didn't really mean what I said to Sammy the other day. I just want to say hi to Phil Stamper. What's going on?
What did you do?
You didn't see it.
I did not see it. I don't know what you did.
Oh, that's too bad. Anyway, and let's bring on a guy. I think he might have a fan club in the back there too. On from ad-free shows, Coach Rosey. You got the team with you.
Yeah, on the road again. Just coming back from Los Angeles, so I'm going to go cameraless today because I want to be a good driver. But I thought I'd say hello to you guys before I go cameraless.
Well, that's all right. Well, just don't look at the camera. It's okay.
Yeah, no, that's cool. It's good to see you guys. Las Vegas looked great last night for Formula One, and it was an interesting night of pro wrestling with AEW.
Oh my God, guys! This week, unbelievable. So much happening, and we're going to try and break it all down for you. And in hour number 2, like I said, we have a special guest. I got to sit down with, well, debatably the top female indie wrestler out there right now, Brittany Brooks. And of course, she's going to be doing her thing today at the Silverton with FSW. Luck of the draw, Cross and Scarlett are going to be there apparently. Well, I won't spill the beans. There's somebody else that's going to be there hanging out today with everybody too, but I'm not going to say who. Like Hammerstone and the whole crowd's going to be there, you guys. If you go to FSW cards, you know the usual group. It's going to be an awesome time. And let's say Cross and Scarlett there as well. And Brittany's going to be defending her FSW Women's Championship against Maserati. Should be a great match. We'll look forward to hearing from Brittany Brooks. Should be an awesome. And it was an awesome interview because I already did it. Oh, it was a long night, boys. A long night. I real quick, I'll tell you what I had to do to go to work. So I go to the Rio to park to get on a shuttle to then go over to Caesar's Palace. And of course, not the side of Caesar's Palace I wanted to be on, the one on Flamingo that's as far away as possible, and had to hoof it all the way around, up, down, and back around to get to work at the Link last night and then repeat during the race, which was fun. Thanks, F1.
You got your steps in. That's good, Mark. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I got my steps in. Don't ask. I turned my ankle a little bit about a day and a half ago, so those steps were not enjoyable. But yeah, a wild night here in Las Vegas for sure. Well, guys, I guess we should start with Full Gear because man, oh man, what a night! And we got a new champ. Oh, Samoa Joe has brought the AEW World Championship back into a semblance of reality. He's in a steel cage match with Hangman Adam Page and Hobbs. And I Phil, you would know this, I would think. Did Hobbs legitimately break that chain? Because I think he's capable of doing it. It was a thick, pretty decent-sized chain on the cage. Was it treated a little bit, or did Hobbs actually pull that off? What do you think?
Honestly, maybe a good 50-50. Like,
Okay.
you have to get it ready. At the same time, like, it has to be presentable. So I'm going to say it was a good 50-50.
Good 50-50. But yeah, Hobbs breaks the chain on the cage. The handsome devil Hook comes in and smashes Hangman Adam Page with the belt. And we have a new champion. And then after the match, Swerve Strickland. And Swerve bulked up, boys. Did you notice that? He put on a good 15 pounds of muscle there while he was on his little hiatus for his knee. Comes out and saves Hangman. A lot to take in from that main event. But, first, let's just talk about the basics, Coach. We got a new champ. Samoa Joe is back on top.
Yeah, they needed a hard-hitting, pure professional wrestler back on top to be a transitional, and I said it, transitional champion for Swerve. So they're setting that up for the future. But Samoa Joe deserves his flowers in this last year of professional wrestling, and I'm excited to see what they have in store.
Wow. Yeah. Phil? I kind of felt like Hangman was the transitional champ. I guess we're going double transitional champs or maybe triple transitional champs till we get to Darby Allin. Is that where we're headed here?
I mean, I'm good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, because you got to get to Darby, but I would think that MJF was going to be that guy. Get him his win back against Samoa Joe, and then have Darby beat MJF. But look, there's no shortage of challengers for the AEW World Championship, that's for sure.
And in one degree, I think that's a good thing, because that means you have a title that has top tier contenders all vying for it that are up at that level. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of Hook. I kind of think that him being involved just sort of diminished Hangman even more, because I don't think Hangman has been successful any of the times he's been champion. I'm sorry, for me it just doesn't work. And so Samoa Joe coming and now being the champion, I think better solidifies that championship, because it needed stability. If they're about to do this, if they're about to hopscotch the title, then they need some of that top tiered competition there. Remove Hangman from that picture, and focus on some other folks for a little bit. MJF, we know he can jump in at any moment. He doesn't need to. Darby can jump in at any moment. He doesn't need to this second. So I think I'm hopeful that they won't hopscotch for the sake of hopscotching, that it'll just be like, here's a champion. Okay, here's viable contenders. Here's a champion, viable contenders. We'll see. I'm really curious what they'll do next.
Yeah, Coach, how many people do you think are going to win the championship before it gets to Darby, which was kind of the plan last year, but with Darby's foot injury and then him deciding he was still going to go on that Mount Everest trip, and kind of screwed up their calendar a little bit. How many people do you see winning the AEW World title before Darby does? Probably at All In next year, something like that.
I'd say 2. I think they're going to start to follow the model that WWE's using with these quick title changes. If you can't beat them, you might as well join them. So All In this summer, Darby wins it, but who the 2 are, who knows? People are starting to come back healthy off of injury, and there's a lot of opportunities for Tony Khan to really be able to get that pencil working strongly and not just make it as predictable as it usually is with AEW.
Yeah, and don't forget the guy who may be coming back around the All-In time is Will Ospreay too. Can't forget that name. This is going to be a fascinating run around this World Championship, and Samoa Joe has got a target on his back. But I'm happy for Joe personally. I really love watching him go, and especially considering people thought his career was over a few years ago. Man, it is good to see him back on top again, and we'll see what happens with the Ops too, Phil. They're a very intriguing group, and with Moxley's loss last night, the Death Riders are kind of starting to fall back a little bit in the pecking order. So this will be fun to see what they do and how the Ops responds to all this.
And that's just it. I'm excited to see what then happens next. I have a suspicion that Mox might need a break. I mean, if you think about it, I know people have been critical of his time, like when he was champion and sort of everything that's happened next with him, but he has done so much work. I think if you look back at the last year of anything televised or broadcast with AEW, I think he's been on almost all of them. And when you think of sometimes that roster, you don't see some of the same people over and over and over again, weekly, multiple times weekly. He's really been that guy. And so I'm hopeful that he's okay. And that maybe he needs to take a step away. And there's a breath of new life that'll come back in a few months. Is my guess, is my kind of in back of my brain guess. I don't know if that'll be the case, but I'm hopeful it is.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Mox too. I don't know if you guys saw the post-match interview he did after losing to Kyle O'Reilly, as O'Reilly submits him at Full Gear last night. But I swear to God, Claudio and Pac were just standing back there looking like they were ready to kill him. I mean, just stoic. And is it time for them to get Claudio back into this, guys? Coach, you feel like maybe it's Castagnoli run to maybe the top at some point? I don't know. It's interesting.
I don't know about the top. Maybe the one that Briscoe won last night, the second tier title, but Claudio really doesn't have the personality or the moxie to carry the Death Riders through. I would prefer to have Pac really take the forefront of that organization, and because he can work the mic and he can really give you some great matches.
Yeah, I think you're underestimating Claudio a little bit. Moxley has been working that group of people very well. I mean, look at Marina Shafir right now; she has just been amazing, and I'm sure Claudio has been getting some work in too. So we'll see what happens there. Boy, I mean, there's so many interesting things that happen. But let's go to the Women's World Championship match. Chris Statlander crash lands into the building and ends up crash landing Mercedes Moné's run to trying to win the world championship. Now she's sitting on 13 titles, but the one that I'm sure she would have preferred to had eludes her as Chris Statlander knocks her off. Phil, do we now begin to see the destruction of Mercedes Moné?
Lord, I hope so.
Whoa!
I'm sorry. She doesn't do it for me. She's just. I'm sorry. I think one by one she needs to start losing some of that drip, and then just the self-destruction of Mercedes Moné can be the first AEW physical copy release. Like, let's go.
Coach, would you predict the downfall of Mercedes Moné at this point?
Oh, I can't wait. I want to see her in rehab. I want to see her on the streets homeless. I want to see her depressed, anxious. You know, she's had her run, 13 titles in all the indies. She's given the indies a great opportunity to get some shine off of her name. But the fall is going to be much greater than her ascension to the 13 championships. If you want storytelling, that's the story.
Phil, some people have been critical about her winning all these championships, but you're one of the experts on independent wrestling on the planet. And what impact has she had on the indie circuit? And what is this run meant to everybody else out there that she's been making these appearances and winning these titles? And she's going to lose them all too. So there's a run coming the other way. What do you think about it?
I am mixed. I agree with the aspect of it. Like, it gives a little bit of a shine, but it's not like, every time she comes out, they're always like, and she's this promotion's champion, this promotion's champion, this promotion's champion. So it's not like people are aware when they're watching AEW that, I mean, they'll make passing references, but that she has this laundry list of all these specific promotions. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag. Like, you almost have to be following on social media to make sure you understand, like, what are all these championships? What does all this mean? What are all these companies? So it's not bad. I mean, she's a televised superstar. She is has WWE experience behind her too, so she has that legacy that she carries. So there is definitely a rub she is giving. I think some talent are a little like, kind of like we're expressing a little here, a little exasperated with the star of Mercedes Moné, and so I think it is I think it's a very mixed bag. I think it's more beneficial than it is a negative. But I think people are moving towards a what's next.
Yeah, and I'm like, Coach, I can't wait to see this collapse. This collapse is going to be something ridiculously special. So I'll enjoy it. But as a side note, this is an interesting comment here from Javon Campbell, 8357 in our chat box, which, by the way, you can get into if you just go to X at Mark Hoke Show or Facebook and YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show. Shotzi is belt collecting in the Indies. She could take a title off Monet, perhaps. And she just won, I believe, the House of Glory championship, if I'm correct. Shotzi is out there. Her and Scarlett are just going crazy on the indie circuit right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be an interesting showdown and possibly a setup for Shotzi to be ushered into All Elite Wrestling? What do you think about that, Coach?
I'd love Shotzi to get an opportunity to dismantle Mercedes Moné. She's got the fans behind her, and it's organic, where it kind of feels that Mercedes push has been manufactured, but with the pencil. People come out from all over to see Shotzi, and she's working big indies, small indies. She'll be here in Phoenix in a batting cage arena. It's set up in a batting cage that might have 300 people. But what she's doing is she's creating a following that's going to take her to that next level.
Come on, Phil. You got to admit you wouldn't mind seeing Mercedes and Shotzi hook it up, would you?
I mean, yeah, I think that would sell some tickets. Like, I think people would pay attention to that. I think that would definitely be interesting. I think I would love to see that if in the right market.
How about with the wrestling Revolver? Why don't you? And
I mean,
Sammy?
I can't make any promises.
I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to keep rolling here on AEW Full Gear. We have more title changes in WWE. We have a new TNA Knockouts champion. And just, it's unreal what is going on out there right now. And Brittany Brooks coming up hour number 2. So we'll get to hear from her as she continues her journey to the top of the wrestling world. So stick around, everybody. A whole lot more coming up on the Mark Hoke Show.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Hey, let's keep doing a good radio show here. I guess it's my show, but I got a whole awesome group of guys I work with. It's our show. Phil Stamper from the Wrestling Revolver. He's the president of wrestling, even though I kind of think he should get demoted. I don't know what title is Phil. If I had to send you down to the farm team a little bit, what would be your new title? Like dog catcher? Let's see.
I think
Mayor
host.
McCheese. Oh, okay. All right. I see how it is. Did you look it up yet, Phil? Did you try and find what I said? Didn't look.
What did you say? Now I'm confused. What did you say? I'm like looking at our private chat. Like, did I miss
No, on X. But if you haven't looked, that's okay. Coach Rosey from adfreeshows.com traveling with his team. He's got him. Coach, you're still ranked nationally? Oh, we lost Coach there for a second. That's all right. I know he's driving through some mountains, so we'll try and keep him in the loop here. But we lost him actually. All right, that's all right. We'll get him back. The Mark Briscoe win, Phil Stamper. A brutal match, dude. If you're not a blood person, you might not have enjoyed it, but a great match between him and Kyle Fletcher. And finally, Mark Briscoe breaks through and wins a singles title in AEW. Your thoughts on Mark finally getting the Duke? And you know what? Does this and this doesn't hurt Kyle Fletcher at all, does it?
Not at all. Again, it was a good match. People are talking about how good of a match it was. This was Mark Briscoe's moment. That doesn't mean God. But I hate sometimes in wrestling when we talk about somebody has this amazing victory and then they're like, oh, and it's the end for the other guy. They're burying the other guy. It's like, no. Like Kyle has proven that he's been able to step outside a box that people were putting onto him before. He's going to continue to do that. And he's able to evolve and change. And that's been the biggest celebration of Kyle Fletcher as an in-ring talent. Mark Briscoe is definitely accomplished, but this also is set up for him in many ways. This was a no DQ match. Like this really gave him an element to be paired with for that championship. I think he's going to be an outstanding champion, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah, I can't either. Coach, I assume you have some happiness and joy for Mark Briscoe on this one. Do we have Coach? Looks like we semi-lost Coach here. All right, yeah, but and you can't help but think about Jay too, and of course his brother passed away a few years ago, and what a sensational night for Mark to get to celebrate this. There we got Coach back. Coach, how you feeling about Mark Briscoe getting the TNT title?
Shit, he deserves it. I mean, if there hasn't been a man that has taken his bumps and his lumps throughout his career without really getting his push and his glory as a singles wrestler, it's him. So I was over the moon that he finally won his championship and is going to represent him and his brother.
Yeah, by the way, Coach, don't forget we are on the radio, so gotta watch the bombs.
Oh, sorry
a little
about
bit.
that. Yep.
That's okay. Sorry, and they just reconfigured my system. Hopefully I caught it. If not, well, that's only a little fine. 6 figures. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it, Coach. No big deal. Anyway. Oh my God. But yeah, so
it's gonna be fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's okay. It's all right. Oh God.
Except you can't say we'll fix it in post.
I love you. I love you guys so much. Ricochet wins the Casino Gauntlet match as I predicted. He is the inaugural AEW National Champion. And I think this is a really good choice for this title because this belt is supposedly going to be defended all over the place in different promotions. And I think Ricochet's the guy to do it. And just a great ambassador of AEW for sure. He can handle any situation when it comes to promos or, getting around. It doesn't matter. He'll do everything that you ask him to do. Phil, your thoughts on, was Ricochet the right choice for the AEW National Championship?
Okay, that's a better question than I thought you were going to ask me. It's not the wrong choice at all. Ricochet has proven that he's a recognizable name talent. People know who he is. He's a very accomplished wrestler. I think people have gone like, he's been made into more of a comedic guy in AEW. It doesn't take away from any of the amazing ability that he has. This makes total sense. I think it's the right fit. I am, even this morning, I got drawn into a little bit of the drama of AEW stolen the national title, like that whole argument. And it's like, leave it alone. Like, great. AEW has a championship. Awesome. Next.
Well, that controversy, I think they tried to cool that down a little bit because Tony talked to Bill Corgan about the national championship and some other stuff. And they got some legal issues that they were battling over. But I think Tony dropped the Shockwave lawsuit, if I remember right. But that's one thing I will say. I didn't quite understand why they had to name it the national championship and go that route with the NWA already having the national championship and kind of recognizing the lineage from back in the Crockett days. I mean, I think there would have a different way to do it, but what would you name the belt? I guess I don't know. It's confusing.
The now my brain's going like, rest in peace, Larry Sweeney, like the Mid-Atlantic Texarkana Mid-South Championship. Like
yeah.
I hate to say it, like we are getting to that point with AEW a little bit too. Like I can't. Somebody told me the number of championships they've had and or have currently, and I lost count. I can't remember if it's like. I'm gonna misrepresent, but let's say they have 20 championships. Like it's a lot. Or 20 champions. So it's yeah. I mean, I think this was a little bit of a stick it to NWA. Like, I'm gonna take my knuckle and just dig in a little bit. I get it. But yeah,
but what was the point? I mean, Coach, what do you think about this controversy with this national championship?
All these championships are kind of blending together for me. I understand how the tradition of that championship has a lot of merit, but probably 90% of the people that watch AEW don't even know the lineage or the history of that title. So, could they have come up with another name? Yes. But when an organization has championships like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Championship, they have some bigger fish to fry than just the names of their titles.
That's not a real championship. And you can tell Jeff Jarrett I said that. And if he gets mad at me, he can defend it against me. I will take the beating to get that belt back out there and seen again. So you tell Double J I'm looking for him.
You better fix that sprained ankle of yours before you face Double J.
I'm going to use the Larry Zbyszko method and duck, dodge, dive, duck, dodge into them. Now we lost Phil. We'll get Phil back. So, but it does seem like a lot, Coach. But when you go to WWE and they've got 23 plus then the Evolve titles, put it to 25. Man, that's a crazy number there too.
Yeah, but they're all split up into different organizations, so at least it makes it a little bit more digestible. There's no minor leagues in AEW, so it's just all jumbled together, which makes it confusing.
Which sucks because there should be. They have Ring of Honor like that. I mean, this
And
is
I didn't count the Ring of Honor titles in there. I probably should have, but they didn't list them on the list that I looked at. So that would be they've got trios, tag, world champ, two TV champs, women's champs. So it's probably around 17 or 18 with Ring of Honor in there. So yeah, it is pretty comparable. But just on the AEW roster, it is 11, which is still quite a few. And another title changed hands last night. FTR are the new tag team champions, boys. And a hot team in Brodito goes down to FTR. Coach, how are you feeling about that? And what do you think's coming for our boys in FTR?
Looks like the focus of the champions are moving to guys that can really execute in the ring. Hangman's great, but he's not as good as Samoa Joe when it comes to in-ring talent. And no one's better than FTR if you want a traditional tag team match. It's very interesting with them being a bad guy. They're going to work their way, weasel through some title defenses, and Stoke is a great mic man for them. It's going to be interesting to see who will step up and face FTR, because the tag team division in AEW used to be their shining light, what everybody would talk about, but their tag team division has kind of slipped lately, and FTR will bring them back to the ascension that they need to be the top organization for tag team wrestling.
Phil, is it a collision course for the Young Bucks and them again?
Probably. My brain's like, I don't want that, but at the time, it's gonna be.
And the Hurt Syndicate's still hanging out there too, even though I feel like there's going to be more of a singles push for Bobby and Shelton coming up here, but who knows? I mean, it's going to be fascinating, and but then what happens to Bandito and Brody King? Of course, Bandito's the Ring of Honor World Champion, so he'll be tied up a little bit with that, but Brody's a very interesting guy in all this. Because if they decide that they're not going to continue the Brodito tag team, there's a lot of guys for Brody King to get through to get to a championship level in AEW. So this is going to be a tricky spot for Brody King, wouldn't you think, Phil?
I think he has so much potential. Like, every time I see Brody, I'm like, man, I want him to be the guy. I want him to step up, be that singles guy. Like I think the world of what could happen for him, to be very honest.
It's going to be fascinating to see what happens with him as well. Pac beats Darby Allin last night, Coach Rosey. That is a big win for Pac, as Moxley couldn't do it, but Pac could, which might explain part of Pac's disgust with Mox losing to Kyle O'Reilly last night. But that's setting up Pac, Coach, and I know you like him, so that's not necessarily going to be a bad thing.
Let's just keep our fingers crossed that he stays healthy, because he's had opportunities to have a run, and they've always been stunted by an injury. And I think he's going to be the leader of that Moxley crew very soon, because Tony likes him. He likes Claudio as well, but I think Pac is one of those day one guys from the very beginning that was going to have huge plans in AEW. And when Tony gets his mind fixed on somebody, usually they got a rocket strapped to their back. So watch out for Pac. They wouldn't have had him beat Darby and kind of stunt his growth on a pay-per-view if there wasn't something big in store for him.
Phil, could it be down the road, Darby Allin, when he eventually does win the world championship, that Pac finally gets his shot at it and wins it?
Ooh.
Look, why else would you? There's only two reasons that you would do this. One is for, like Coach said, for a future setup, but the other is, look, I beat Darby Allin. Mox, you didn't. Mox, you suck. Goodbye. That's pretty much all I can think of on it.
I sort of like that. I have to wrap my head around that, to be very honest, and not for any bad reason. I like Pac. I keep saying Pac. I like Pac. I don't see it yet. I don't see it right now.
Not now, but
right.
You know, Tony loves planting those seeds for a couple of years down the road.
Yeah.
And this one smells like one of those jobs.
Well, and maybe that's why it's not sitting in my head, because yes, Tony can also go, and Wednesday, this is happening, because he also has that sudden need to like fulfill what's in his brain. So I'm a little bit concerned that the gun might be triggered a little too early.
Yeah, but a nice win for Pac last night. And just let me check and see if there's some other really big ones. Well, one I wanted to get into, and Coach, we've bumped into this guy, our good friend, Big Boom AJ, Super Costco man, who has not lost a match yet in AEW. And, we've seen it. This guy is over like crazy. Is it time for them to do something with Big Boom AJ, Coach? Or do you just keep him as a kind of an opening show side act?
I think Big Boom AJ is a side act. He's not ready for a sustained run. If it wasn't for the Rizzler and his son, I don't think they would be having the pops that they've been getting. He's got a great story, a great training regimen that he's doing, and the whole he can overcome anything, but that's going to wear out very soon, especially with the AEW crowd. That I really don't think that they would be into a Big Boom AJ run.
See, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. And Phil, when I see how the crowds react to this guy, there's something there, and they just love this guy. I mean, I get it because he's a kind of a favorite with all the Costco stuff that he does. Mm. But he's pretty good in the ring. He's an experienced wrestler. It's not like he just hopped into this. And I just can't help but think that maybe Tony's going to pull a trigger and start moving him up a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong, but would you be tempted to do it, Phil? Ooh. Put on the booking cap.
Well, see, you say that, and that gets dangerous territory, because AEW, I think, would be a very different product.
I bet it would.
I'm like, okay, half that roster just wouldn't be there right now. Ring of Honor would be the developmental territory with only a couple named recognizable people to build ROH up like ROH used to be in the day, make it more organic growth, then take those top talents once they develop and then put them over to AEW. There's a whole new structure that would happen over to AEW.
Okay, well, let's stay within this one. And what do you do with Big Boom AJ?
I like his presence. Honestly, I really do.
He's a great guy.
I think so too. I think that he has, because he can really connect. I think fans get into him. They do get excited. Yes, traditional wrestling folks look at him and go, well, but he hasn't disappointed when it comes to the entertainment. Like what he needs to be there for is exactly what he's doing, and I think it's great.
All right, so we're
keep using them like in that same way, plug and play a little bit. You have to have at some point. There's going to be something dastardly is going to happen to him, and he's going to have
one thing about Big Boom, I don't mind saying this now that the event's over. The nonprofit I work with, Culture City, Big Boom paid for 3 families to have a suite last night at Full Gear and give them their own Make-A-Wish night. So when it comes to authenticity, inside and outside the ring, he's a heck of a guy.
Yes, he is. And I'm really impressed with him. I'm not saying put a strap on him or strap a rocket to him and send him to the world championship, but there's potential there. We'll just say that there's potential. And there is also potential for us to take our next commercial break. So we're going to do it. Stick around, everybody. We've got a little bit more to come from AEW Full Gear. We've got Brittany Brooks coming up in the second hour, and we're going to get into all these other crazy title changes, too, as we have a new TNA Knockouts champion and a new women's Intercontinental Champion. It's under dispute, but we have a women's Intercontinental Championship title change. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
All right, let's keep this going. Best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, The Talk of Las Vegas. Coach Rosey from Ad Free Shows, Phil Stamper from the Wrestling Revolver in the house. And last thing, real quick on Full Gear, Young Bucks. They don't get the $1 million because they made Don Callis mad. They did win the match, but they got their buddy back. The Elite's getting back together. Are you happy about it, Phil? Is the Kenny Omega reunion with the Bucks? Are we all kumbaya and everything's harmoniously right with the world?
Yeah. I mean, it's Omega. People just want to see Omega. Like, Omega. Yeah.
Coach, are you happy we got the Elite back?
Oh yeah, I'm a young guns Mark, and when I didn't like them as bad guys. I mean, it was cool for a little bit, but we can get Hangman back in the Elite now since he's not a champion. We can roll those Monday shows out like the old days, and it's fun when they're baby faces, and they can kind of protect Kenny from really getting too overworked in matches, because if they do trios, and maybe they can go after the trios championship.
Yeah, that would be all right. So we by the way, real quick for AEW too, we are in the semifinals of this women's tag team tournament. And I know, Phil, a while back we talked about, really couldn't lose with just about any one of these tag teams. We're down to the Sisters of Sin, which is Julia Hart and Sky Blue. They'll be taking on the Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron on one side. And then we get the Timeless Love Bombs, Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa, taking on Megan Bain and Marina Shafir. Last night, Tony and Mina won the right to have a stipulation for their match with Megan and Marina, which sounds to me like the Timeless Love Bombs will be moving on in the final. But what do you think of this, Phil? Are we headed towards Tony and Mina winning these titles, or is, something another possibility?
It feels like they should be, but there's part of my brain that's like, okay, where's the swerve? Like something is gonna like come in and maybe like put a dagger in a heart, like something's gonna come in and just stop that momentum or change it differently. Because I think Tony alone will be back in singles competition, vying for that championship once it is sort of. I think once the Monet era clears and that's sort of out of the way, and I know Stat has the championship right now, but I think once that all cleans up a little bit, you're going to see Tony move back over. So I just feel like a swerve is coming that I just can't see.
I don't know, Coach. I think Tony and Mina are probably going to win this, and hate to say it, but everybody's digging the lesbian love thing going on between the two of them, and I don't know. I think they might be cemented in that division for a while.
I'd like to see Sky Blue get her championship run. Those girls can really go. They're young. They're energetic. They've proven that they can work and they can wrestle. They can do the hardcore style. They can do pure wrestling. And that's my pick to win it. I really think Tony's going to give him the championship. And like Phil was saying, Tony's going to be doing that singles run really soon. And I think they want to finally give them the opportunity to show what they have.
And it's a possibility. I think any one of those four teams could win. So this will be a really fun finish coming up for this tournament. And by the way, in case you didn't hear this story, after the two ladies bailed out on Tony the other night, the fill-ins are apparently on the way to maybe getting a new contract. That is Maya World and Hyan, who replaced Nixon Newell and Miranda Lies on that edition of Collision. They did such a great job and stepped up to the plate. Tony's going to give him the contract out of spite, Phil. He's going to do it. Don't you think? You know it, too.
Yeah, I do.
But there's a lesson to be learned there real quick, right, Phil?
Okay, I need to disclose something really quick. Really super quick. So sorry.
That's all right.
I've been a part of a lot of events this weekend, and I'm in two separate chat streams about both of them right now who are arguing about things in wrestling world. So like my brain is in three separate pockets right now, and I'm so sorry.
Tell them to come on the show. Interesting people. We'll put them on.
Well, I'll show you what. You can't see the name; it's too blurry. One is Sammy.
Tell Sammy to get on the show.
I have been trying.
Tell him to pop on here real quick. We'll say hi. I want to wish him a happy retirement. Just see what you can do on the break, Phil Stanley.
He's on the road right now. I know he's driving right now.
All right.
From Canada.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, when we come back, we're going to hear from a interview I did earlier this week with Brittany Brooks, who's going to be in action tonight at FSW at the Silverton, 5:00 tonight. Cross and Scarlett are going to be there. You'll hear who else is going to be there. I'm going to keep it a surprise. But it is going to be a great night over there, and I think you're going to really be impressed with Brittany after this interview. So make sure you stick around for hour number 2. And so, Coach, you can kill your phone for a little bit while we play that interview. Stick around. Follow us here at Mark Hoke Show on X, The Mark Hoke Show on YouTube and Facebook. Hop in that chat, and we'll hit you up. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back at hour 2.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show. Like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Dear crew, it's Toyota. With an adult-sized third row, everyone's welcome in the Grand Highlander. From sports fans to eco-buffs and movie fans. Sink back in the Sienna with an available rear seat entertainment system. Slip into the RAV4 with available all-wheel drive. And let's go. Toyota. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Visit your Southern Nevada Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places.
One Nevada.
Ready to hit the road in a new ride? One Nevada Credit Union believes your life should be rewarded. With a new or refinanced auto loan, One Nevada will let you skip payments for 90 days. You really can drive now and pay later. At One Nevada, we offer freedom from payment stress and more money in your pocket. So you spend less time worrying about financing and more time enjoying the drive.
Our one focus is you.
Check out the benefits of a One Nevada auto loan today at onenevada.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal opportunity lender.
Welcome to Yoga for Beginners, where we say yes to less stress and no to auto loan payments.
What? Say yes to less stress with One Nevada Credit Union's 90-day no pay. Finance your new or used car with us, or move your current auto loan and don't make any payments for 90 days. That could be close to $4,000 in your pocket. Say no to payments and yes to less stress with One Nevada Credit Union's 90-day no pay auto loans. Visit onenevada.org today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, we're the Benicis, inviting you to take part in our 25 in 2025 scholarship campaign. Make 2025 the year you help pave the way for continued education.
Pledge $25 a week, $25 a month. Make a one-time gift or leave a lifelong legacy. Every dollar helps bring talented young adults close to their dreams.
Like me, Maya Perez. Thank you.
Learn more at 25in2025.org.
Price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
KMXB HD3 Henderson, K268CS Las Vegas, 1015 FM KDAWN. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Ukraine peace talks continue.
KDAWN listeners, it's your main man, Jimmy Fallon, and dig this, I am coming to your hood. Saturday night, November 29th, we got 2 stand-up comedy shows at the brand spanking new Durango Resort and Casino. This is not a drill, it's the real thing. So get your tickets now at foxacrossamerica.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
All right, we are back for hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. And we're going to have a lot of fun this second hour. Brittany Brooks, we're going to hear from her as she gets ready to defend her FSW championship, women's championship at FSW Luck of the Draw tonight, 5 o'clock. Over at the Silverton. Cross is going to be there. Scarlett's going to be there. Hammerstone, just a ton of great wrestling action. So get on over there and say hi. And you're going to hear who else is going to be making an appearance there tonight as we go through this interview with Brittany. Also remind you, hop on board with the Odyssey app. Go get that app right now, AUDACY. And you're going to be able to listen to this show, all of our great shows on KDAWN and from 220 plus stations and other podcasts as well. So make sure you get that app right now. And I promise you, the clouds are going to part in Vegas. You're going to be very happy. AUDACY. We are also live streaming the show on X at Mark Hoke Show and on YouTube and Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show. And you can check that out. Get inside. Say hi to everybody. I know we've got some comments that are stacking up in there a little bit. Bionic Scoop in there. Scoop says, yes, the answer is me. Well, you'll be there. I'm going to try and get over. I have some stuff that I've got to take care of today, and it's been a very hectic week. So I will do my best to get over there tonight to Luck of the Draw and say hi to everybody. So just follow me on social. If I'm coming, I'll let you know. But we need to hear from a terrific person. And she has such an incredible future in pro wrestling, just 21 years old. And she is well on her way. She's already wrestled on TNA, MLW, AEW. And I can't say enough about her. And I think that once you hear this interview with Brittany, you're going to be very impressed. She is just absolutely something else. So what do you say we hear from the center of attention herself, Brittany Brooks? All right, and we are on the Mark Hoke Show and very excited. I'll tell you what, when I get a lady in this studio, so classy, so incredible, so stunningly beautiful, and a champ too. It's a privilege. It's an honor. Look at that thing. We are thrilled to have Brittany Brooks in the house, the FSW champion, and you're going to be able to see her on Sunday at the FSW Luck of the Draw card. That is, once again, Sunday on November 23rd, 5 p.m. at the Silverton. Putting that gold on the line. It's going to be a lot of fun. Brittany Brooks in the house. Brittany, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? And before we continue, you do have to say the greatest FSW women's champion of all time.
Oh,
Zoe Stark, who?
Ooh, okay. The greatest FSW champ of all time. I'm not going to argue because I know that I'll be get put through a table or something. It won't be good.
It will not be good for you. So best not argue.
Oh, she is the center of attention at all times, isn't she, everybody? Well, Brittany, first, I want to congratulate you on everything that you've had going on. And it's been so exciting to follow your career. I mean, gosh, you're everywhere. MLW, TNA, the WWID program's got their eye on you. Everybody is on the Brittany Brooks train right now. But man, you go back to that knee injury you had last year, and what a road, huh?
It was a road, but I am the center of attention, so everyone's always looking at me. We're not shocked, but no, it has really been incredible. I've come such a long way since this time last year. I was so self-conscious and just not happy with where I was, and to just flash forward, flip snap your fingers a year, and we're here and we're doing so much. And it's just been such a fun year.
How do you overcome that? Because there's a certain point when you're out on the indies that you're trying to get that final push, to make it to where you want to go. And, you said you had, some confidence issues and things. How did you get past it?
I think I'm still trying to get that final push. I'm still trying to get signed, but it's just constantly reminding yourself that every day is an opportunity to get better, and just looking at yourself from like an honest perspective. What can I improve on? What can I get better at? And as far as like overcoming the knee injury, that was the same as that. Like every single day I was going to the gym, putting in the work, training my knee, getting better and better and better every single day, getting stronger. And when I did come back, I don't think my knee was probably not 100%, but it was the mind over matter of it. And I kept pushing and I kept striving to be better. And, here I am now, and my knees feel great. They feel completely fine. I've been having so much fun wrestling every single weekend, sometimes 3-4 times a weekend. WrestleMania weekend, I think I did like 8 shows.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. What did you feel like you had to improve? Because, I've seen you go and you're pretty good. You're pretty good. But obviously being the professional that you are, you're always looking to get better. Where did you see a leak in the game that you needed to fix?
There was definitely, when I first came back, like I wasn't moving very fluid. Like you could definitely tell, oh, that's the girl who blew out her knee last year. And I feel like just training at FSW and really working on the minuscule details of every single thing in a match, from every single piece. And Chris helped me so much with that. And I just appreciate him, because every single day I'm always asking him questions like, oh, what about this? Does this make sense? Could I do this? Oh, I need to improve that. Let's go to the school. Let's work on that. Like, he has literally helped me pick apart every single thing and find the things that I need in order to get signed. And we are working on those every single day. And I'm trying. I feel bad because I'm the type of person who needs to make the mistake a couple times and then improves. Whereas I should be able to make the mistake, get told it's a mistake and fix it. But I have these bad habits that I still need to break. So we're working on it every single day.
It's not a bad guy to have in your corner. And, but you were in Chris's corner for a long time through that injury. And I don't know too many people that, may have had the temptation to just say, oh, what am I doing here? And just let it go. Tell everybody a little bit about the time that Chris got hurt and the rehab and everything that you went through with him, because look, I know from a lot of people that told me that you were instrumental in helping him get back to where he is, at least right now. So
honestly, when you say some people would have left, that was never even a thought that could have ever crossed my mind, because I never felt like I was doing enough. So at the time I was still living in Arizona, and it was really hard because the day I found out, luckily my friend had called me. She was like, I don't know, but Chris just got stretchered out. I don't know if it's an injury angle or what's going on. And then I started panicking. I went straight home. I started packing my stuff. I was like, I'm flying to Detroit. I'm doing it. And then luckily, everyone at TNA was super helpful. They were like, chill a little bit. We'll get you here. We'll make it happen. Just don't panic. And I was panicking because I didn't know what was going on.
Of course.
And then Chris FaceTimed me from the ambulance, and he was in a neck brace. And I was like, because I still don't even know what the injury is. And then he tells me he thinks he broke his neck. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never, we've heard the stories of Edge breaking his neck. So many people have broken their necks, but until you go through it, you're like, it seems impossible. It seems like it's never going to happen. So yeah. And then to find out, I was on the flight there when I found out he couldn't move his legs. And that was a whole nother wave of oh my God, I had no idea that was the case. I had no idea he couldn't move his legs. I had no idea he was paralyzed. I didn't even know the move. I didn't know any of the details whatsoever. So it was definitely a super, super stressful time. I remember being in the hospital with him every single day. They would come in and be like, wiggle your toes. He's like, I can't. And it was just such a hard reminder every single day, because obviously they're trying to see if he's slowly, coming back from the paralysis. But it took 2 months. And those 2 months were literally the roughest part of my life, because when you see someone you love so much go through something so horrible, it's like, why is this happening to him? He's literally one of the greatest wrestlers in the world. Like, if anything, I wish I could take his pain away. I wish that I could have that happen to me instead. Like, I am not the greatest wrestler in the world. So like, if I could just take that pain and put it on myself, like, I would want that instead, because I love Chris and I love his matches. And I think he's like the greatest, literally the greatest ever. And I know everyone always thinks that like who they're with or like who they love is like the greatest ever, but truly he's so incredible. And it was just so hard to see. And he loves wrestling so much. It's all he's ever known. So it's just so hard to see that taken away from him without an option of saying, no, like, don't take that from me, you know?
What as a person makes him stand out? I mean, I've got to know Chris, and I could probably answer the question to a point myself, but you're beside him every day. What makes Chris be able to do what he's doing and bounce back from all of this and keep a smile on his face?
It's like the thing where it's like, I don't think anyone is shocked that he's able to make this miraculous recovery. Like, his entire life, he's been through situations and gotten through them so fast. I think he told me he was training at FSW for 2 months before he had his first match, like 2 or 3 months. And I'm like, I trained for like a year and 3 months. And he was just such an exceptional wrestler, and is an exceptional wrestler. I don't even want to say was, because he still is, even though he's not able to physically do the things that he once was able to. He's still at the school helping me out, teaching me little things that you wouldn't notice. And he's just always been so smart when it comes to wrestling. And I think it's the exact same thing when it comes to the rehab. Like, every single day they'd come in and he would do therapy. I think it was like an hour session for PT and an hour session for OT. Maybe it was 2 hours. Maybe it was like 4 hours a day. I don't really remember. But he was always asking for more sessions. He was always asking, oh my gosh, like, can I do more therapy? Every single day he was trying to like do more and more and more. And then the moment he was able to move his legs again, they were right on him, trying to get him to stand up and walk with a walker. And it's just crazy seeing those videos, because all those memories are popping up from a year ago. And it's like, whoa, like, this day a year ago, he was paralyzed. This day a year ago, he was doing this. And like, it's not too long since the year since the injury, because it was October 27th. So when that day hit and all the memories came back of him, like, he couldn't even move his hands at one point. But it's just his unbridled, unaltering ability to push himself. And no matter how hard things get, he keeps going. And that inspires me more than he could ever understand, that anyone could ever understand. Because when you see it with your own eyes, you're like, oh my gosh, this is like the greatest story ever told.
There you go. Well, but I want to give you a lot of credit for helping him through it. I mean, it's fantastic to see somebody be willing to stand by someone like that, like you did. So a ton of credit to you. And it says a lot about you as a person too. So don't just give Chris all the credit. All right. You're in there too, Brittany.
He deserves all the credit. He physically did everything. And he always says like, oh, I couldn't have done it by myself. And I agree, because injuries are not something you can go through by yourself, let alone an injury like that, where you're completely fighting the battle yourself. And it took a lot for me, because sometimes he would like, say how he was feeling. And I'm like, oh, I know. But then I was like, no, I can't say I know, because I truly don't know what you're going through, but I'm here for you. So I had to learn how to rework my words, because I don't know what he's going through. No one really knows what he's going through.
Yeah.
And all the incredible people who have reached out that have like gone through spinal cord injuries, like, still no one has been paralyzed for 2 months because of a wrestling incident. Like, there's people in like normal lives that get like car accidents and such, but we don't really know any of those people. All the people that were reaching out were like people who like broke their necks in wrestling. So it's just so different, and we don't know what he's going through, but we can do our best to try to understand and help out any way we can.
Well, I can't wait to see you and him side by side.
Yes.
It's you got to get some mixed tag team titles. What that should be the first priority when Chris does get back to the ring, is you two just get a moment to celebrate together. I think that would be awesome.
Joe DeFalco, FSW mixed tag team champions. Come on now.
There you go. There you go. Well, let's back to what you've been doing. tell us a little bit about some of these opportunities that you've had, because you got to wrestle on TNA, and I know how excited you were about that. You got to wrestle Shotzi at FS or at MLW. I mean, that had to be awesome too. And WWE is, you're on the radar. We all know it. But tell everybody a little bit about those couple of nights that you got to wrestle.
Don't forget Ring of Honor against Thunder Rosa.
And Rosa too.
Come
Absolutely.
on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's on my list.
No, everything it's so crazy how things work out, because I'm constantly putting this pressure on myself to get signed, to get better. Like, oh, I need to get signed. And it's still there. It's still there in the back of my head. But I feel like this year really taught me it's okay. Things will happen when they're supposed to happen. And everything happens for a reason. So sometimes you have to ground yourself and really realize if you are pushing yourself every single day to be better, if you're working at it every single day, something will come. And sometimes it may be a little something. Sometimes it may be an entire contract. But as far as like MLW, that was so much fun getting to wrestle Shotzi. I loved watching Shotzi in WWE. So I think it was super cool to be like one of her opponents. And it was in LA too. So like people knew me. So it wasn't like I was going in and they're like, oh, who's this girl? And Ring of Honor was really awesome. Also, I think it was in like Oceanside, California, possibly. Another place that I've, wrestled, that California scene. That was really cool because it was last minute too. They were looking for someone to wrestle her. And I obviously was like, heck yeah, I've wanted to wrestle Thunder Rosa for the longest time. So it was really cool. TNA, super fun. I loved those matches. It was so special because I got to be Alicia Fox's, now Vix Crow, Victoria Crawford, her first match back to TV in like 7 years.
Yeah.
And everyone knows I am the biggest Bella Twins fan in the world. Team Bella. Alicia Fox was in Team Bella. So that was such a full circle moment. And then the next time doing Wrestling the Iconics, that was so cool. It was literally my dream playing out right in front of me. And I'm just so looking forward to any and all opportunities coming up next, and just so ready for anything. And I feel like that's the most important thing that you can be, is just ready and willing to do whatever it takes, whatever opportunities arise, and just deliver on those opportunities.
Tell everybody a little bit what it's like to be out on the indie circuit and, and in demand, because it's not like you're just kind of hanging around California and Vegas and Arizona. People want Brittany Brooks all over the country, and you are everywhere. What is that lifestyle like? Taking everybody through like a couple of weekends, or what it's like to be Brittany Brooks right now.
So it's definitely insane, because all the time I'm like, wait, they want to fly me out, they want me to be like on their show. This is insane. And some of the shows that I'm on with like the biggest names, the ex-WWE names, the current AEW, TNA names, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, so I'm like, but I do belong here. And I feel like it's a lot of that, like, I get in the habit of doing a lot of like negative self-talk. And sometimes I have to be like, no, like, I belong here. And that's very powerful. So I guess a few weeks in my life, we can go with last weekend, or well, this one that would just passed. I flew into New York, and we had a drive. I flew into JFK. We drove to Long Island because I had a convention on Saturday morning, the big event NY. And then right after that, I went to a virtual signing where I got to like sign stuff for people on a live stream. That was really fun. My first time doing that. Then right after that, the next morning, we drove to New Jersey. I did PWJ, and I got to wrestle. It was me versus Emily J versus Billy Starks versus Alley Catch.
Wow.
Super fun match. And then right after that, the next morning, I flew to Boston to then drive to Rhode Island, where I got to wrestle for the WWE ID Women's Championship. And that match was so much fun, so much talent. Like, it was so cool to see the internet talking about women's wrestling so much, and to just be a part of such a pivotal, cool moment, because right now there's like hardly anyone in the ID program, since they're re-signing people and refiguring out who they want and stuff. So to be in the conversation, to be in that match was just so special to me. So yeah, that was my weekend. And then I flew home yesterday, but it took me 12 hours to get home because of all these delays and stuff.
Yeah.
And then this weekend I leave on Friday to go to Spokane for Relentless, which is on Saturday night. And then Sunday afternoon, we have FSW, where I get to defend my beautiful championship at Luck of the Draw against Maserati. And I'm going to kick her butt. So
I would Probably agree, unless Maserati was standing behind me. You know, then I might have to have
It's okay,
a
I got
conversation.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Brittany. All right. And we have more coming up from Brittany Brooks here on the Mark Hoke Show. And once again, don't forget, she's going to be performing tonight, defending her FSW championship against Maserati at the Silverton, 5 p.m. FSW Luck of the Draw. Going to be an awesome night out there tonight. And can't wait to, hopefully I'll be able to get out there and see all of you. But it's going to be fantastic. Cross, Scarlett, Hammerstone, just the whole gang's going to be there. So make sure you head over there to the Silverton at 5 o'clock. All right. And we are going to take a break, and we come back. You're going to hear a little more from Brittany Brooks. And then we're going to talk about more championships. They're flying all over the place in WWE. And well, the last time is now tournament is going on too. And we lost somebody. We'll see, let you know who that is. And have they named the replacement? Stick around. We'll find out in just a little bit. We'll be right back on the Mark Hoke Show.
.1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM, Talk of Las Vegas. And let's get right back to it as we continue to hear from Brittany Brooks, the center of attention. You'll see her tonight at FSW Luck of the Draw down at the Silverton Casino, 5 o'clock. Make sure you go get your tickets if you don't have them. It's going to be an awesome evening. So let's hear more from Brittany Brooks. Yeah, and don't forget that is going to be on Sunday, this coming Sunday at the Silverton FSW Luck of the Draw, 5 p.m. If you don't have your tickets, you better get on fswvegas.com because that house is going to be packed.
The return of Killer Cross,
yes.
too.
Yeah, you got to, you know, and that's got to be one of the really fun things about being out on the independent circuit right now, because there's so much incredible talent that is out there right now. And, you know, I just think of guys like Matt Cardona and Shotzi and Cross and Scarlett. And I mean, it's loaded out there right now.
It is
and,
loaded.
And getting a chance to be on cards or, you know, wrestle people like that, it's got to be a lot of fun, but also a terrific learning experience for you.
Oh, it is. And every time I'm on a show with anyone, like, I always try my best to ask one of them to watch my matches, give me critiques, give me advice, because you're never done learning. And I still have so much more learning to do, but sometimes it takes being told by just the right person, and then it'll click. So I love being able to pick brains and talk to people that I'm on shows with. And yeah, it's really fun. I just did an indie that Eddie King.
What advice would you give Limelight, the FSW champion?
He's teaching me based on his matches how to just be the dark side just a little bit. So Danny Limelight, I mean, it's not no, is it? Is it?
If you get,
it's only
if you get caught.
Yep, it's only cheating if you get caught.
Right.
And I don't get caught, so.
Oh, are you going to become bad Brittany Brooks?
You know, I think I already have.
Oh, it's so sad that hot pink's going to turn black.
It is.
Really?
Yes.
Would you ditch the pink?
I just did. Check out my Instagram, because yep, and I might be wearing that gear on Sunday too. So
right. Well, we'll make sure we get out there and check it out.
Heck yeah.
Now, I got to have a little fun the last time I saw you perform. Your mom was in the audience.
Oh goodness, at the benefit show, right?
Yeah. And what a terrific woman. And I got to tell you, it's got to be a lot of fun having a parent supporting you as much as she does. Man, she is just so excited to see you out there, and it's got to be a great feeling to have that.
Yeah, absolutely. She drove from Arizona that day to make it to the benefit show, and she was just super excited too. I think it was her first time meeting Chris, and like obviously she knows everything that he went through, so like it was just super cool to see them like in the same building. And yeah, she's just been incredible. I mean, she was the person who took me to all these signings growing up, that I have all these pictures with all these wrestlers. She loves Dolph Ziggler. So every time I'm on a show with Dolph Ziggler, I'm like, my mom says hi. And he's your mom. Because she's just so loud and entertaining and fun to be around. Everyone is always like, oh my God, I love your mom. And I'm like, she is one ball of energy. We can see where I get it from.
That is for sure. I'm curious to hear about some of your future goals. Now, like I said, it kind of feels like you're pushing a pencil into a piece of saran wrap, you know, and it's just about ready to rip. So it's going to happen. We all know this because you're that darn good already. Where do you see yourself in a couple of years, and what are you hoping to accomplish?
So obviously my biggest dream in the world is to wrestle at WrestleMania, as everyone's is, right? But also everyone's path is different, and I know that. In the next year or two, I really, really want to be signed, whether that's at AEW, WWE, TNA. Like, I just want something. I want to be on TV. I want to fine-tune my craft. I want to be able to know how to work TV, because TV is very different than indie wrestling, and I've tried my best to incorporate the TV style wrestling into indie wrestling anywhere I go that lets me, but I definitely need experience on TV. And I mean, everyone always asks me why I'm wrestling, and yeah, it's because I want to get to WWE, and it's everything I loved since I was a kid, but I just want to be able to inspire people on the level that I was inspired with. Like, the Bella Twins are my reason for wrestling. John Cena is my reason for wrestling. If I could do that for one person and inspire one person to want to go and become a wrestler, and that's all I want. I want to be able to inspire and give people something to look forward to. Like, I look at how fans feel about someone like Cody Rhodes. Like, I've seen people on Twitter talk about how much, like, sometimes these people that you idolize save your life. And I just want to do that for somebody. I just want to do that for anyone that cares to listen. So, yeah.
So would you rather team with a Bella or beat up a Bella?
Oh, I mean, team with a Bella would be super iconic. And I would get to call myself the third Bella twin, because when I was a kid, I did a sign that was like the third Bella twin. And so many people were like, that's not possible because twins are only two. And I was like, well, listen. All right.
Yeah, it's all good. And I'm curious to get your reaction to the blood and guts match that happened on AEW, because that ended up being a very critically acclaimed match. And I know you've done some rough matches in the past, and they did some pretty brutal things in that match. What did you think of that? And what do you think of that style of wrestling for women? You feel like it's good to watch, or, you know, maybe you want to tone it back? What did you think?
I thought that blood and guts match was insane. I love Megan Bayne. I love Sky Blue. All the girls are incredible, but to see them go to that level and just beat the crap out of each other, that was so insane to watch. And I think it's incredible that women are getting the same opportunities as men in the same matches as men, the same amount of time as men. I think that that's just a testament to how good women have become. We have literally broken down all the barriers in the world. And I just think it's so awesome that we're getting the same opportunities as the men, because clearly they showed up and they delivered and they proved that they deserve everything that the men have. So they're coming for the men's throat. I mean, even like nowadays with like what I've seen from like meet and greets, and like sometimes more people care about the women than the men, and the matches getting main events, like, we deserve that. And I think the blood and guts was just incredible, and I'm so happy for them.
Well, Brittany, it's only a matter of time that I know you're going to be out on that big stage soon.
I don't know if I want to be in a blood and guts match, though, because that looks painful, and the center of attention maybe couldn't be the center of attention if I got hit with a trash can a few times.
Well, just don't get hit with a trash can. Come on, just hang out. Do what Mercedes did and just kind of, you know, stay out of the fray a little bit.
Smarter, not harder.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're going to get to see Brittany Brooks coming up on Sunday at the Silverton. FSW luck of the draw, defending that stunningly beautiful FSW championship against Maserati. It is going to be a great night. And don't forget, like I said, Killer Cross and Danny Limelight's going to be there. I think Hammerstone's out there. I mean, it is.
Chris Bay is guest hosting.
Look at that.
It's his first, I guess, he's going to be selling merch. He's going to have hella t-shirts. We have a full inventory of like all his t-shirts right now. He has like 8 designs. I've never folded so many t-shirts in my life. I was like, I feel like we're in that, I don't know if you'll get this reference, but the iCarly sweatshop when they're making the penny tees.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that was me folding all his shirts and helping him with inventory.
Wow. So he's putting you to work.
Oh, yeah, but he's going to be selling autographs. He's going to be selling t-shirts. So come out, support. Oh my gosh, there's so many crazy names on this show. So it's so exciting. And of course, me. And I'm going to be retaining this beautiful FSW Women's Championship, which is even more beautiful because it's on my shoulder.
Absolutely. No one is going to argue with you about that. Well, Brittany, thanks for coming on the Mark Hoke Show. I do appreciate it. I can't wait to see where the future goes for you, because it is so bright. I mean, 21, right?
21, yeah.
That is so crazy that, I mean, you've been doing this like 5 years now. There's a long, long road in pro wrestling for you, and we can't wait to see it. But it leads through here in Las Vegas Sunday, so make sure you get out and check it out with Brittany defending her championship against Maserati and all the other great matches on the card over at the Silverton. Brittany, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it, and we'll look forward to seeing you Sunday night.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. There you go, everybody. Brittany Brooks. And what a terrific person she is. Unbelievable. And should be a fun night tonight. So get out there at Silverton. And sorry, we had a little slight audio difficulties on that. But yeah, we're talking about her and Danny Limelight. Danny teaching her to be bad. Danny, stay away from that nice girl. What are you doing? Oh, may have to lecture him if I get down there tonight. All right, let's take a break so we can just run through the rest of the show. There's a lot of wild stuff still going on in pro wrestling. A bunch of title changes again in WWE. We've got a new TNA Knockouts champ. NWA had some new champions. And who cut their ticket prices? Oh, you know who had to. Stick around, everybody. A whole lot more coming up on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. We'll be right back.
Hey, Chuck, people seem to need Dollar Loan Center more than ever these days.
Look, banks stopped lending money years ago to average folks who just need $1,000 or so for a little while to get through their situation. They say that half the country can't even withstand a $1,000 emergency. And that's where we come in. We get it. People end up in a pinch. You always know where you stand at the Dollar Loan Center. We're very transparent, lend more, charge less, give you more time to pay back, and treat you like family. If you like your family, that is.
You're spot on, Chuck. DLC lends up to $5,000 in minutes, and you can get your cash in person at one of our 70 locations, on our website, don'tbebroke.com, or even over the phone with one of our helpful, real staff members. You're going to love Dollar Loan Center.
Hi, I'm Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy. At 15 years old, I was homeless with no guidance or education. I was sleeping in my car, scared and alone, wondering where my next meal would come from, an experience no child should ever endure. But I got through it, thanks to the generosity of thoughtful people just like you. Through hard work and faith, I built a successful life in real estate. Now in these later years of my career, I am using that success to focus on something far greater. I'm helping the children who are walking the same path that I once did. That's why I created $1 Commit Food, Safety, and most of all, hope. Together, we could change the lives of the children that need it the most. Please visit justoneforone.org to make your donation today. Justforone.org. Be the difference in a child.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark.
All right, let's get back to a final segment of the Mark Hoke Show. I want to thank Brittany Brooks for a great time, man. I'll tell you, she is something else. And get down there and see her take on Maserati, and you're going to see all sorts of terrific superstars. And the gang is all there for FSW Luck of the Draw tonight. So brace yourselves for that. And by the way, congratulations to my North Dakota State Bison, the number 1 seed in the FCS playoffs. And all the stinky Sioux Hawks managed to weasel their way in after they choked yesterday. That's all right. I doubt we'll see them because they're not good. But anyway, I shouldn't be talking about the Sioux Hawks. Let's bring Josh Rosenbaum from Ad Free Shows back on board here. We'll thank him for taking the time to give us a call. Coach, holy cow. We had so many title changes again this week. We have a new Intercontinental Champion in Maxine Dupree, who knocks off Becky Lynch to win the Intercontinental title. More titles changing hands at NXT Gold Rush, as we saw. Just running it down here real quick. JC Jane wins the Women's NXT Championship. We have a new TNA Knockouts Championship in Li Ying Lee. And then we also have a new Women's Speed Championship that was vacated. Fallon Henley wins that. So now, Coach, that is 15 of the 23 championships in WWE since September 20th have changed hands, a couple of them multiple times. Is this Triple H's response to the ratings being down a little bit? Did he just want some new blood? What do you think about this? This is nuts.
I think this is the way that professional wrestling is going to be moving into. I mean, this is a low patience society. The days of having a champion that's been a champion for over 1,000 days are over. As much as we would like it as the older generation and storytelling generation, the younger generation, which are really trying to tap into, likes change and isn't as patient to really build things out. So do I like it? No, but to like it by watching, assimilating into what WWE is trying to do.
Well, the one title change that I really want to focus on is Maxine Dupree winning the Intercontinental title. Just got a little baby distraction from AJ Lee, and she took advantage of it and pinned her. But the road for her, because, Coach, I know when you first saw her making appearances in WWE, we'll just say it was shaky, just a little bit. And for her to build herself to the point where they were willing to put her over Becky Lynch to win a title, I mean, that is unbelievable. I mean, what a couple years stretch for Maxine Dupree, the former Rams cheerleader. How far do you think she can go,
And
Coach?
Phoenix
I mean,
Suns cheerleader.
oh, okay, I didn't know that. How far do you think she can go in this whole thing?
Cheerleader.
Okay.
Well, she's a testament to hard work. Not only is she working on her skill at the Performance Center, but on top of that, she's been training with Ty Dillinger. And on top of that, she's been going to the Hard Dungeon with Natalia.
Yeah.
So she is really dedicating herself to her craft. She just came into the business as a pretty face, but now that she's somebody that can really create a match, create a storyline, someone who's very good on the mic. And to be honest with you, Becky doesn't need a title. Becky is a brand in her own. When she walks in the ring, down the aisle, she's going to get one of the biggest pops every night. So to waste a championship on her isn't really necessary, but to build up someone like Maxine Dupree is essential for WWE because their women's division is not as strong as it's been in the past.
Would you take the AEW women's division or the WWE women's division?
I would say the women's division in general is down. As much as I enjoy watching the women wrestle, they don't have the firepower that they used to. I think we were spoiled with Becky and Bayley and Charlotte and that generation of women's wrestlers. And there's been a little bit of a lull, and Maxine Dupree might be able to be that person that has a small part in filling that void.
Yeah, so congratulations to Maxine Dupree. Something did come out of the Maximum Male Models that was positive. How about that? No, we didn't forget that silliness with LA Knight. And speaking of LA Knight, he doesn't know who he's going to be wrestling this week yet. At least we don't know who he's going to be wrestling. The Last Time Is Now tournament, unfortunately, has a vacancy in it as Sheamus got hurt. I imagine that was in that match with, he got the team with Cena and Rey Mysterio Jr. But, this tournament is pretty exciting. I mean, Coach, I'm not even going to try and guess who is going to be LA Knight's opponent, but are we for sure, you think, headed for Gunther and John Cena? Or, could we get a curveball? Could it be LA Knight being the one to get a shot at John? Let me grab that bracket here real quick. I had it and then I lost it. Let's see. Bear with me. And whoop, there it is. So our next round of matches, it's Carmelo Hayes got a little help to beat Bronson Reed on a count out. So he's going to get to wrestle Gunther. Solo Sikoa and Penta, Rusev and Jey Uso, and then LA Knight against the mystery opponent. Is that a foregone conclusion that it's Gunther, or maybe we get a curveball on this one?
I would say it's a foregone conclusion for me, because the person that really needs to push the most is Gunther. He's been out since SummerSlam, and people enjoy his in-ring ability, but storylines haven't always been top-notch with Gunther. And for him to be the last man to beat John Cena will propel his storylines, will propel his aura, and is going to propel him to be the WWE World Champion at some point.
Yeah, you got to wonder if there's going to be a showdown with Cody Rhodes at some point, because I don't think you go back to doing the same old trick with him winning the World Championship. I could be seeing Gunther possibly going after Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. That would certainly be fascinating. And of course, some of these matches this week set up our War Games match. And, normally, Coach, I don't get really excited about the War Games Survivor Series matches, but I got to tell you, I'm actually looking forward to these, especially this men's War Game match. It's CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, the Usos, and Roman Reigns taking on the Vision. That's Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. And I don't know if this reporting was right. I didn't have time to do the research on it, but someone had put out that Brock Lesnar hasn't wrestled a tag match in like 20 years. So I find this men's match, it's going to be pretty hard hitting, should be a lot of fun, and they've got about as much star power as you're going to get in that thing.
Yeah, that's true. And what I really appreciate the match is there's nothing on the line. There's no championship, there's no stakes, there's no stipulations. So you're not going to have a gaga finish. You're going to have a hard-hitting match where there's going to be a definitive winner, and it kind of opens up the wrestlers to be a little bit more, and the writers to be a little more free with what they're going to script for this match, because sometimes War Games matches can kind of get formulaic. Sometimes they're very hard to see because of the cage, but without anything on the line, you don't have to worry about, a finish that people are going to be debating for weeks and weeks, because there's really nothing on the line except for pride, which is something that the War Games was built around. The promo that Cody cut on Friday at SmackDown was probably one of his best promos ever, and he's getting people fired up for that. Survivor Series for a long time has just kind of been the ugly stepchild of the big four pay-per-views. But this one has some real firepower with Dominic going against John, and this War Games match and a couple of those other matches. It's going to be something, a sight to see on the 29th.
I'm curious to see how well Brock Lesnar is going to play with others. That to me might be the most fascinating thing about this match, is seeing what Brock will do or not do. Is he just going to kill everybody? He's just going to sit back and enjoy the show? I think that's going to be the neat part about this is seeing what Lesnar does. And I know there's people out there that don't like Brock, but it should be fascinating to check out what role he actually plays in winning or losing this match.
And who knows, maybe WWE will give those haters the opportunity to get the smile, because in the War Games, there is no rules. How do you know he's not going to get quadruple teamed by 4 or 5 guys and just get annihilated and get bloodied up and get destroyed? And then people will be like, oh, finally they're not giving Brock the golden spoon all the time. Maybe he is going to get his butt whooped in this match, and that's what a lot of people want to see. He's getting older. He's not performing very much anymore, and people want to see him get beat. And I think the War Games is a great venue for that.
Yeah, so the rest of the War Games matches, as you mentioned, John Cena, Dominic Mysterio, Stephanie Vaquera against Nikki Bella for the Women's World Championship. Women's War Game matches, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and AJ Lee taking on Nia Jax, Lash Legend, the Kabuki Warriors, and Becky Lynch. So this looks like it's going to be a pretty entertaining evening. A couple more things I wanted to mention real fast before we got here. First, a lot of new champions in NWA. Of course, that topic came up with the national championship situation. Natalia Markova is the new women's champ. The Immortals, Odinson and Kratos won the tag titles last week. The Thrillbilly, Silas Mason, won the NWA championship. So the NWA turning over a bunch of their titles over the past couple weeks. But one other thing I wanted to mention real quick is the WWE lowered their ticket prices for SmackDown in Denver and Oklahoma City, and lo and behold, they just about sold out the shows. They took the prices down to a min $60 and $45. Coach, are they going to keep it that way? Did they learn their lesson?
Maybe for those couple, but I think their ultimate goal is to squeeze as much blood out of the stone as possible. So maybe they'll get people excited again about the product and then bring the prices back up. Hopefully they do that for WrestleMania, because I still can't find a ticket that's a quality ticket for less than $1,000 or $2,000.
Jesus, that's unbelievable. Yeah, so we'll see how that turns out with WWE ticket pricing. And by the way, we do want to wish the best to Adam Cole. Tony Khan in an interview said he's not sure if Adam's going to be back due to a lot of concussion and head injuries that he's taken. So we want to, I love Adam, and I hope he is able to make a return pretty soon to professional wrestling, one form or another. He'll be around. And that's going to wrap it for us. Coach, thank you. Adfreeshows.com. Make sure you check them out. And safe driving to you, sir.
Thank you. We have another game on Tuesday against Perry, so we're excited.
Go get them. All right, so thanks, Coach Rosey, and thanks to Phil Stamper and Brittany Brooks for joining us. Once again, make sure you head out there to the Silverton tonight for FSW Luck of the Draw. That's going to do it for us. Follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook and YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show. You can check out all of our archives on those channels, plus at markhokeshow.podbean.com. Guys, we will see you next week on The Mark Hoke Show. And by the way, Jimmy Fallon is going to be in town Saturday night, 2 shows at the Durango. Get your tickets, and we'll see you over there too. Have a good one, everybody.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.